Considering how the previous season of Monkie Kid ended, I'm certain Leo and I aren't alone in wondering why Macaque has such a heavy influence in the coming season's sets. But we're also completely invested in however it will play out. Speaking of our foil to the Monkey King, here we have set 80033, Evil Macaque's Mech. This set contains approximately 893 pieces, and will cost $79.99 retail in the United States. This set contains 5 minifigures, a vehicle, all 3 MacGuffins, and a whole lot of questions that I'm itching to see answered. First and foremost being Sandy. Now, I'm not sure if this is just set interpretation and not actually relevant to the show at all, like with Lego Thanos coming in all shapes and sizes, but I can't help but look at this poor fella and feel like it's a case of The Rock shrinking into Kevin Hart, you know? Maybe he skipped leg day. Did he skip leg day? See, this is why you don't skip leg day. Jokes aside, this is a really, really solid playset. You have loads of figure diversity, what with Macaque and Rumble, and then their giant mech on the side of the bad guys, versus an overclocked May with 3 Rings of Destiny, MK in a staff-shaped auto turret, and post-nerf Sandy, who even got his weapon shrunk too. The mech's construction in particular is very, very solid, and not just in the, oh, I like it sense either, but in the it feels sturdy to hold kind of way. There isn't a way for Macaque to board his mech, sadly, so it seems maybe it's controlled remotely, if I had to guess, which in itself is still pretty cool, especially if they're going for like a real steel mimicking movement kind of thing. The limbs are connected by a new piece, designed for ratchet joints for larger figures, eliminating the need for the long Technic beam on the second piece that seems to just get in the way or sticks out awkwardly, kind of like the hips on the Ninjago Lloyd Titan mech. Speaking of, for those that are familiar with Lloyd's Titan mech, this is essentially the evil twin of that build, or the Daniel versus the cooler Daniel meme. The hips function very similarly. Size lines up very similarly as well, main differences being the lack of a detachable vehicle from Macaque's back and no way to place a minifig in the mech, but Leo and I personally believe it's more than made up for in the set's stylizing and the shaping, the overall aesthetic, and the tight-knit feel of the build, the newer parts and building techniques that simply come with time. I personally found it fascinating with the use of mixel joints in the palms to allow for more hand and weapon posability, and I really like the idea behind that too, even if the connection is a little awkward. If we have any gripes, it really boils down to the mech not really being a mech if Macaque doesn't pilot it, and we once again find ourselves with a lack of bendable knees, and thus heavily restricted posability in a mech build. The rest of this build is a hoot, though. May is supercharged and shooting crystals from her hands, MK is shooting a cannon at a giant monkey, there's a giant evil monkey that looks really epic, and it was a super fun build. Overall, it's simply great, especially for those of you that managed to snag the Monkey King mech. This would serve as an awesome display piece to have beside it, locked in combat on your shelf. Once again, I would like to give a huge thank you to LEGO for sending us these sets. We had a wonderful time with them. It was an absolute blast getting to build these. Seriously, we can't thank you enough. You guys are awesome.